One ring. Alcott McNaughton looked at the telephone. His call was 2 rings, so he ignored it. Then came another single ring, and another. It was nearly 11 at night on August 27, 1908. Alcott was finishing the late shift at the railway depot in Folsom, New Mexico, when the ringing became impossible to ignore. He lifted the receiver. On the line was Sally Rooke, the town's 65-year-old telephone operator. She sounded frightened. "An awful flood is coming down the river," she told him. "Get out. Warn everyone you can." Alcott ran. Outside, he found store manager Bob Pennywell doing the same thing. They split the street between them, one man on each side, hammering on doors and waking families. Their plan was to hitch a wagon and carry people to the school on higher ground. They never got the wagon out. The water was already too close. And while they ran from door to door, Sally stayed at the switchboard. Folsom was a small railway and ranching town beneath Johnson Mesa. The Dry Cimarron River ran beside it, but most days the river was little more than a narrow, dry trench. People in Folsom knew floods. 18 years earlier, water had filled the streets and washed away loose belongings. But it had fallen again within hours. The town survived. That memory made Sally's warning harder to believe. This night was different. After sunset, a hard southeast wind pushed clouds against the peaks. The local newspaper described cattle lowing, dogs howling, and birds stirring in the willows before the rain began. Then the sky broke open. Lightning flashed without pause. Thunder traveled from peak to peak. Empty metal tubs filled until they overflowed. 8 miles upriver, Mrs. Ben F. Owen watched the Dry Cimarron rise into something she had never seen before. She called Central and told Sally the largest flood she knew was moving towards town. There was no siren, no emergency broadcast, no automatic way to reach every home. There was Sally, a lamp, and a wooden board filled with cords. She began calling. Each connection was made by hand. Find the line, push in the cord, ring the bell, wait for someone to wake. Then make them understand. Some listened, some hesitated. The river had threatened Folsom before and left it standing, so Sally called the next house, and the next. Every call gave somebody else a little more time. Every call left Sally with a little less. Upstream, floodwater was tearing through fields of freshly cut hay. Stalks, branches, and debris gathered against the railway bridge west of town, building a temporary dam in the darkness. For a few minutes, the bridge held. Then it broke. Alcott had warned his mother and promised to return with the wagon. When the plan failed, he took a lantern and tried to reach her on foot. The night was pitch black. He could see only when lightning opened the sky. Halfway home, he slipped into deep running water. His lantern went out. He turned back towards the depot, and then he heard it. The flood. In the next flash of lightning, Alcott saw a wall of water about 4 feet high racing through Folsom. Houses lifted and moved like loose timber. A building beside the hotel came apart like an egg crate. Alcott and the families sheltering at the depot could do nothing but watch. Across town, his mother climbed first onto a table, then onto the top of her piano as the water rose through the house. Another home was seen floating down Grand Avenue with its lights still burning. At the exchange, the flood struck Sally's small office, turned it over, and extinguished the lamp. The line went dead. By about 3 in the morning, the water began to fall. At first light, Alcott walked into town. Mud and water still covered Main Street. Buildings had shifted, collapsed, or disappeared. Sally's office lay on its side in front of Doherty's store, its entire front torn away. 17 people died that night. Sally was the only one not found in the first searches. The following spring, 8 miles downriver, Dan Harvey was burning a bank of flood debris when he found a shoe. Beneath the driftwood was Sally Rooke. She had no family in Folsom. The local Masonic Lodge buried her in the cemetery, at first without a marker. But telephone operators elsewhere heard what she had done. Years later, they began sending dimes. 1 dime from one operator, then another. 4,334 dimes crossed the country to Folsom. In 1926, a granite boulder and bronze plaque were unveiled above Sally's grave. We cannot know whether Sally believed she would die when she made those calls. We do not know every name she reached or exactly how many people escaped because of her. We know this. A warning entered one small room. Sally Rooke could have carried it out with her. Instead, she sent it into the town, one ringing telephone at a time. The line went dead. Her warning kept moving.